Is it possible for a developer to create a game that fails even before it launches? Can one developer steal an entire subgenre of a community in just one weekend?
Fuck Street Fighter! Fuck Guilty Gear! Fuck Tekken! We're Dragon Ball players, it's official! Fuck everything else!
Exclusive.
Fuck the world!
Can that entire community shift because of the events stated? This is the story of how Dragon Ball Fighterz stole the face of the FGC.
Just give it to me. Oh! That's the sound of a perfect attack incoming.
The year is 2017. E3 is right around the corner, and just like every year, fighting game fans are sitting eagerly to find out if new titles or sequels are coming to the genre.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
That was a smooth lead.
As the event approaches, one game which was announced 6 months earlier, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, was speculated to be shown, and while fans were incredibly excited that Capcom was continuing a series, which last title is known to many as the greatest fighting game of all time, they were also incredibly scared after the announcement trailers showing lackluster visuals, polar opposite gameplay mechanics, and a cast missing many of the series' favorites. Bro, how are they going to get rid of all of the X-Men? Literally all of them. And Doctor Doom. And Deadpool too. You know what? Fuck this game. Anyways. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was the newest installment in the series, announced back in December of 2016 to be the sequel of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which both its original and Ultimate versions were released back in 2011. Marvel 3 has an incredibly rich legacy in its lifespan, which kept fans eagerly waiting for the next title of the series with the power of pure hype during a very long period of time where Capcom was radio silent about a sequel.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
When fans had seen the trailers for MVCI, they were, well, surprised? The fans felt a deep betrayal as Capcom stepped away from the 3 vs 3 versus game with assists to a 2v2 active tag system. Not to mention it, but more than half the cast looks like they came out of a short-circuited 3D printer.
For you, Rocket. Any.
For you rocking anything. For you rocking anything.
For you, Rocket.
But that's besides the point. The point is that fans felt crushed that Capcom did them dirty after waiting so long for another title so eagerly.
Is this any way to behave? Bitch.
Then, it happens. June 11th, 2017. The fighting game genre is blown away with an announcement that would impact the FGC to this day. Dragon Ball Fighterz is announced. Developed by Arc System Works and published by Bandai Namco, the fighting game community was getting a first-party, 2D DBZ vs. fighter. With an IP as big as Dragon Ball, the appeal for the game was already at an all-time high. The community reaction was one of shock and amazement.
Dude! Oh my god! It looks so fucking good!
In terms of hype, dbfz had stolen the show from MVCI. Later that year, going into EVO 2017, some of the titles would be seeing their last EVO due to things like age, entrance numbers, and new titles on the horizon. Marvel vs. Capcom as a series had always been a mainstay at EVO, and with MVCI aimed to release later in 2017, people were wondering if Infinite would be taking Marvel 3's spot in the future. The game would release later that year on September 19th with, well, less than stellar reviews. Many fans were divided on the new systems like the 2v2 Active Tag and Infinity Stones, which may have been the reason that the game ended up selling so poorly. While at the same time as the release of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that same weekend was the public beta for Dragon Ball Fighterz. And while the beta was bumpy as all hell, those who got to experience the game that weekend were really enjoying dbfz. Then, next year, January 26, 2018 to be exact, where dbfz would go on to sell over 2 million copies in just 1 week of release, with many critics saying it had the potential to be the next great fighting game. Fast forward to February 6th of that year, where EVO was announcing the 8 games that would be on its roster for the event. Many games were seeing a return to the event like Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Injustice 2, and Guilty Gear Xrd. And the 2 new titles to enter EVO that year were BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle and, of course, Dragon Ball Fighterz. And with that, MVCI was out of the main show, even though it had also recently released just like Cross Tag and Dragon Ball.
Street Fighter, don't worry about those articles. It's Marvel, baby. Not this year, baby. Damn.
When questioned why they didn't choose it, the folks at EVO stated, "I don't think people are playing it, and that's the problem." After that, the Marvel franchise began to take a backseat in the versus genre they had pioneered nearly 2 decades ago. Dragon Ball Fighterz would go on to be the most watched game at EVO that year, peaking at over 253,000 viewers. Since then, Marvel vs. Capcom has not seen the main stage at EVO or any premier event, but Dragon Ball Fighterz has kept its spot and cascaded itself to being one of the biggest fighting games currently in the community. In its first year, dbfz would have an incredible world tour featuring 7 saga events after the 7 Dragon Balls from the series, and have its own Summit of Power Invitational hosted by Beyond the Summit, who is famous for their invite-only events. The game has gone through another world tour and is currently in the middle of its 3rd season. Whereas the Marvel vs. Capcom series currently sits in a weird spot in the community, where it's not very old but hasn't been featured at many events at all, and the post-release development stopped by mid-2018.
Yo, asshole! This motherfucker's dead.
The number of people playing its newest title is incredibly low, so what does that mean for the future of the series? Is there gonna be another MVC game? I for one hope so, but as it stands right now, Dragon Ball Fighterz is the premier versus game inside the fighting game community as of making this video. dbfz was the perfect case of right place, right time, where the versus series was in a strange position, and then ArcSys and Bandai came in and grabbed all the players looking for a new game. For now, dbfz holds the crown that Marvel created. Look, I know that dbfz isn't a perfect game. It has its flaws for sure.
Bruh, that's fair?
The online is horrible. The community can sometimes argue over frivolous things. And we have drama from time to time. But Dragon Ball has done a lot of good things too. It pretty much gave birth to the next generation of fighting game players, and not every game is able to say something like that. It created friendships all across the globe with people you would have never met otherwise, and it has drastically changed many of our lives within this community. And in the end, I want to leave you with this. Thank you, Dragon Ball community, for all that you've done. Hey everybody, Tigress here. I just want to say a quick thank you if you made it all the way through to the end of the video. That really means a lot to me. This is the first kind of video I've ever done like this, and it was stressful, but I really wanted to tell the story of this game and its come up and how much it impacted myself and, you know, honestly many of the community members that play this game. If you can, please drop a like. It tells us that you were doing well. It helps a lot. Subscribe to the channel and share this on social media. This video took a lot of time and work, so if you can, it would mean a lot to me. And I also really want to say that this video was not possible without Ghost from Third Strike. He did all of the editing and visuals to make this video what it is, so please, if you can, check out the description, check out his Twitter, check out his Fiverr account if you want to support him or if you need some work done. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.